Welcome back to Patriot Lifting. It's a beautiful summer morning, and today I think we're going to do a day in the life of a boom truck operator. Come on. Sun's rising. We're out here in Locust Grove, Georgia. Watching the sunrise is like my favorite thing about the morning. When I worked in the oil field, I watched the sun go down every night and I watched the sun come back up every morning. I remember my favorite place that we ever did an oil well was this place called Buffalo Pass. It is it's off of an old dirt road in between Steamboat Springs and somewhere in Wyoming. I can't even remember. But it's this old dirt road, and when you start out on this road, it's totally paved. And there's a sign that says Steamboat Springs, 52 miles. The thing about it was, this is 52 miles, but you better not have a car going down that road. So there's no chance it would make it. I mean, it was 52 miles of the roughest road, like a Jeep trail. I remember that sunrise in the Rockies, and it was the most beautiful sunrise I'd ever seen. It was so cool. I kind of miss Colorado. That's our friends over at Mount Hope Tree Service. We're working for them next week. Should be a good time. Driving in Atlanta, traffic's real. It is real. No texting and driving here. You ain't got time to. You gotta check all your mirrors, make sure there's ain't some guy darting in front of you, about to slam on his brakes. It's important to keep a really good following distance though, you know? Because what happens is you'll get up to speed, everything will be going along great, like we're speeding up right now, and we'll come up over top of a hill, and everybody decide to slam on the brakes at the bottom of the hill. And you'll be going 65, 70 miles an hour. And that is when you roast your brakes trying to get stopped. So it's important to always keep a good following distance. This truck, I just wish sometimes I had jake brakes on it, but the cards were dealt. So you don't want to burn your brakes up. Keep a good following distance. The struggle's real. I mean, we're in the yellow zone right now. Could get red. We're going up here, Gainesville, Georgia, the poultry capital of the world. If you go into the grocery store, you see Tyson chicken or any chicken, really. I came from Gainesville. Also, they hosted the 1996 Olympic rowing and kayaking events. Thought you guys ought to know about that. Any Olympic kayakers out there. Anyway, so we're going to change out just one air conditioning unit. It's right next to the airport, so we're gonna just keep our boom low. I think 70 feet, like, as long as we stay under 70 feet of tip height, we'll be good. So we shouldn't have any problems. I think it's about a 65 to 70 foot reach from what I measured on Google. And should be a pretty simple one. I think it weighs 1,000 pounds, something like that. Change out a unit and a curb. Stay tuned. I mean, it could be interesting. Look at that big old American flag. America. Here's we're making a left and then a right. and then a left, 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 and then it's on the left. Yeah. The job site's just, it's just funny. You never know where you're working or how you're gonna get there. But you will get there. Alright. 3 more lefts. And then it should be on the left. Wow. It's literally right beside where we went in at. That's where we came in at. Looks like there he is over there. So I turned into the wrong building. Alright. Get this knocked out real quick. How's it going?
Once we get this thing picked up, we'll have to take those side plates off and probably cap the bottom ones.
Okay.
And it's going to be a bottom. We just have to take the plates off and cap the bottom. Then we can.
Okay.
I just need you to pick it up.
Cool.
Yeah, we just have to set this one off on the ground.
Okay. It's important that you're completely straight with this thing before you pull it out of a man's pickup truck, because got that big back window sitting right there, just waiting. Just want to make sure you're totally centered with it so you're not damaging the guy's pickup truck. Can't operate correctly without coffee. I'll hang out over here because that side has the exhaust on it and it's a little bit loud. And it's summertime. Which also means the exhaust side's way hotter. So from here, I'm already setting up in my mind, like, when I'm gonna scope out. Typically, I'll scope out all the way, but since they were waiting right here, and they wanted this unit out of the truck, I just scoped out enough to just get the unit out or whatever. So I think we're gonna set this down, and I'll probably just remain at this boom angle. I probably won't boom down at all. I'll just scope out to like probably 70-ish feet, maybe 84. 71 or 84 are the highlighted points on this crane. So the sides of the boom are color matched to the boom length. And so you just match the color that you see out with the boom length, and you'll know what boom length you're at. But I always like to scope out at a high boom angle so that it puts less stress on the wear pads. Something's booming out when it's flat like that really puts a lot of stress on the wear pads versus just being boomed up. It takes a lot of stress and relief. It relieves the pressure it takes less pressure to scope out when you're going straight up versus being up flat. My boom length and my boom angle, 84 feet of boom, 35-degree boom angle. Looks like we're going to be about 67, 68 feet of radius right now. We set in between 65 and 70. So that's pretty good. All right, so the ball kind of wandered. It pulled to my right. So what I'm going to do is just swing to my right, just a bump. Just a little bit there. Make sure to always keep that cable straight up and down. You develop an eye for it, where it's completely plumb all the time, straight up and down. And you cable up, and then you just start booming up. start swinging real bad if you're not paying attention. You just have a lot of, it's very slow to respond when you're at a high boom angle like this. I'll adjust accordingly. Now on the boom truck, you can adjust with your throttle, or you can adjust with your levers. So when I say adjust with your throttle, that means like right now I see it drifting out. I'm gonna get a little bit into the gas right there and I'll catch it. And you always are chasing that swing all the time. I mean, that's what makes you a good operator. You want that thing just moving just as smoothly as possible. I'm just going to boom back up to 70, and then I'll just scope back in down to my toolbox right there. So I'll be able to lay my straps out right there. Now it's important button in a boom truck up or any old school hydraulic crane, like a link belt or something like that, put a little extra pressure on the cradle. You boom down a little bit extra, because what happens is there may be a little bit of pressure still in the cylinder, causing that thing to bob up and down, and if you hit a bump on the road, it could start slamming that that boom into the cradle. Thank you, sir. We are good to go now. So, switch the coffee, check the mirrors. Head on down the road. Should probably put it into gear. Let's try this one. So we're headed down south, but we're on Highway 53, which, fun rumor-ish fact for all you NASCAR fans out there, Bill Elliott was from this area. Well, he's from Dawsonville, and they called him Awesome Bill from Dawsonville, but he got his practice driving from, rumor has it, from Dawsonville to Gainesville and back, running moonshine, and he was called Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. It looks like we're about halfway there. Just came through Winder, home of Aiken's Ford. They do the Wild Willys conversions for the F-250s and all that kind of stuff for YouTube. You guys can check them out on YouTube. We're about halfway. Got about another hour to go. Gotta stop and get some fuel somewhere. That says empty. So we better get fuel soon. And it's just the life of a crane operator. Most of the time you're just driving. Just doing a lot of driving. I feel like with the smaller cranes, that's just what you're doing all the time. You're just driving. You're doing, you know, you may spend 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours on site or whatever, and then you're driving. Or driving. So, you know, fortunately, we got good air condition. And pretty nice truck to cruise in. Got air ride suspension. So, you know, just enjoying the ride in this old Peterbilt 357. So, I think I've pushed it long enough for the fuel. I think We need to stop and get some. Oh, just kidding. Pretty sure it said diesel, but I don't see any diesel pumps. Oh, it's over there. So we'll get some fuel now. I think it's time. What's up? Got me some good stuff right here. I got some Fuji natural artesian water. It's supposed to be kind of like Red Bull or something, give you wings. I don't know. Make you live like 20 years longer or something like that. I don't know. This is the biggest container they had. And got me some Arizona green tea. And some other drinks that probably not going to show. It's not alcoholic, it's just, it's not good for you. I'll only drink half of it. Just half. So here in about 2 hours, we should be full of fuel. A little longer than a few minutes later. All right. Pump shut us off. They don't want us buying any more fuel. We were allowed to get $200 worth. You guys remember that time when they were like rationing fuel because they had a fuel shortage? Happened here in Atlanta. I think right after that, I bought a massive fuel tank. I bought like 1,000-gallon fuel tank because they were rationing people $20 worth of gas. I don't know if they ever rationed diesel or not. I think they just ran out. This is the town of Monroe. Pretty cool town. People walking, you know, out doing shopping, stuff like that. Guy with a flatbed. You see a guy with a flatbed in Georgia, you know, you're in the right area. That's a working man right there, you know. I used to live out in Wyoming, and I lived in Casper, and everybody had a pickup, and their pickup truck they would buy and immediately take and have a flatbed put on it. Like, nobody had a pickup truck without a flatbed. It was nobody had normal beds. It was pretty cool. I kind of took to that phase. I had a flatbed for a while. I don't have one anymore, but I do really love the functionality of the flatbed. I mean, you can load pallets from the side. You don't have to worry about, like, if somebody bumps into you or, you know, crash your shopping cart into it or whatever. Who cares? It's a flatbed. It's tough. It's good to go. So you don't have to worry about that. So I like flatbeds. So we're going through the beautiful town of Social Circle now. It's just a nice, quaint little one red light town. I guess there's a legend of a group that gathered and sat in a circle. I couldn't read the rest of the sign. Didn't stop for the road. Yeah. All right. It looks like these guys. Oh, yeah. We're gonna have to go in and see if we can wiggle our way through here. We're setting up right in the drive-thru. I don't know where their truck is, but I know we're reaching right over there because I've done it before. Been here before. I remember all this. It's all coming back to me. All right, cool. How's it going, man?
New one off the truck, and it's just sitting right there.
Yeah, I can't reach that far over the truck. Is there any way we could, I don't know, all four carry it over here?
Yeah. Well, you just want to set up right here?
Yeah, Yeah, I can help y'all carry it if you need.
To carry it like
Yeah, at least it wouldn't cut our hands up. Watch your back. All right, that's good enough. Efficient. So these guys, we work for these guys in the summertime probably, oh gosh, I don't know, once every 2 weeks or so. And these guys they're great. I mean, you see how helpful it is to have customers like that just make the process so much faster. They know what's going on. They know how to rig it. They just know what's up. So it's really cool to roll up to a job like that where they know what's going on and you just knock it out. Now, I don't know where they're going. I don't know where that other condenser is, but I can watch them. When they pull that ball a certain way, I can tell which direction it's going. So I know I'm pretty close by, but they're trying to hook it up before they're not trying to center me over the next unit. They just set one down and they're gonna pull the ball over and just hook the straps up on the next one. But I know when I see that cable at an angle like that, they're trying to hold that ball over to where they can hook it up. And so the courteous thing to do is just move over a little bit so that they don't have to hold it. Just makes things easier for them and for me, and I'll already be roughly centered before I go to lift the next thing. So they don't necessarily have to tell you where it's going. As long as you're close by, you can get centered of it without even knowing. For us. It's great. All right. Cool. Just gonna get our paperwork filled out. Finish. All right. That's cool. All right. Just did my walk down. I think we're ready to go. Now we're headed on back. Just knocked out a couple jobs. That's pretty typical warm weather environment. You know, get gets warmer, people want to change out air conditioners, so do a decent amount of those through the summer, and do a lot of driving. Got about an hour to get back, so we're gonna roll on back and call it a day. All right, well, that concludes today's activities. That's a day in the life of a boom truck operator. You know, just running around, lifting small stuff. I appreciate y'all watching. If you like this video, click the thumbs up and subscribe, do all the things. We are grateful that you guys are watching as much as you are. The channel's growing, and hopefully we'll have some new stuff here coming soon. We're super excited. And so again, thanks for watching. That's a day in the life of a boom truck operator. So we'll see you on the next one.